All right, what's good, everybody? It's KyFy. How are you? I hope you're doing very well today because I have a great message. It has a little twist to it, but I'm sure it'll empower you. This is the Zin-Finity Board, and I am KyFy. I'm glad to meet you. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, what's good? We about to get down to it. I'm gonna start with the messages, but basically, this is an Zin-Finity Board. It's an elementally energetic grid that flows in a 21-part circuit housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. So basically imagine your life on pause, and this is the menu that comes up. What we do here, I'm a mental alchemist and I use the Etheral. I had to learn the cards to understand this board completely. So what I do is I take the energy from the crown down to the root. We clear all the channels on the tree of life down to the root, and once we get it there, you can use that energy for whatever you want to do with it. So let's start with the messages. I'm gonna get these cards down first. The first part of the reading is Emmanation, but we're gonna get some of these cards down real quick, and I don't even know why they flying out like that. I'm gonna just go ahead and start it. So the first message is, of course, what you are attracted to. Your dreams are attracted to you. Now, when you hear that, you hear readers say this all the time. I heard this 1,000 times at least, right? Your dreams are attracted to you. Your dreams are attracted to you. I heard it from so many different people, and I just got it. I don't know why I just got it, but I just got it. And I want to basically shed light on what I mean by that. If your dreams are attracted to you, what else is attracted to you? Let's just call it the devil, right? If the devil knows your dream is attracted to you, wouldn't he put things in your way so you wouldn't get to your dream and eventually give up and live for the fantasy of just being safe and not evolving? Wouldn't you do that if you were in that position? Oh, hey, this soul is about to achieve his dream. Nope, not in my domain. We're gonna put everything in this way. We're gonna put him, her in your way. They're gonna be amazing. They're gonna be awesome, beautiful, and all that stuff. You're gonna be so attracted to it, her, him, that you will forget your dream. And then you get to where you come to this reading and you say, okay, what was the point? What was it for? God sends you lessons. God sends you lessons, and basically these lessons are tailored to your dream. All right. So, since these are tailored to your dream, it seems the hardest things that you do in your life are the most important. And as souls, we want peace, right? We want ease. We want it not to be so hard. But when you live and you go through some trials, you try to figure out why you're here. And I've done that, and I went from a sci-fi mind, basically science fiction, to the spirit. So everything I learned in the sci-fi minded kind of, everything I learned with that mind, I transferred it over to the spirit, and it created this. So that's why God wanted me to go over there in the first place. But that's just one type of experience. I've experienced loss, gain, this, that, death, and all the other things that kind of deter you from getting to this dream. But when I realized the dream, that's when everything started to come towards me. The devil was like, he knows about what he wants to do, so now it's game time. Before, it was just, let me make sure he's having a good time. You ever notice that as soon as you start to learn yourself, all the trials come at like an exponential rate? Why is that? And why does it piss you off? I almost don't like the way that we achieve. Like I almost don't like it. When you start to understand the matrix, there's like a moment where you say like, why am I here? Why am I here? I really wanted this because I believe in reincarnation. I believe that I wanted to come to this body for a reason. I saw an opportunity. I saw a dream. I had a dream, and my spirit said, yep, here's where I want to be. And now I'm speaking to y'all, you know, going through all the things that I went through. Same for you. What is it all for? So we're going to keep going and get these cards down. There are requirements and prerequisites for your dream. Oh boy. None of these. So something is about to be cut out your life. These cards are jumping. So it's gonna be cut off so crazy. It's almost like, imagine you took one of those bouncy balls and just threw it as hard as you can at a corner, at the best spot where it's gonna go everywhere. That's how messed up and scattered these people are gonna be. It's gonna be like cats, 9 cats in the house, and some loud noise go off. They're gonna be scattering around you, away from you, just like that. We see it all the time, and it comes out in different ways. Oh, I can't come out with you today. Oh, matter of fact, I got this to do. Matter of fact, I need to be over here. You know what? I'm gonna leave early today. You know what? This is gonna happen. The changes you started to understand, because, you know, since you try to understand yourself, since you learn who you are, you learn other people and you learn their patterns. You have to learn your patterns too. The better you are at learning yourself, the better you are at learning other people. So this is why you have to go within, because within becomes like the glasses that you see through. You understand? So yeah, there's a lot that I can go into that with, but we're gonna keep going. This is the actual first part of the reading, which is, okay, I'm not even gonna take these. It's emanation. Basically, on the tree of life, there are 4 worlds. We're gonna go down those worlds in this order, so you can keep up with the information. You know, we all learn about the spirit and what it does, and the soul, body, mind, and all the stuff, the bodies, this, that. In this board, all of it is here, and this is why it's so special, and that's another reason why I'm making the app. And speaking of that, my last reading, you should take a look at it. It's long, it's a long reading, but it's a lot in there that you'll find interesting and something you could take with you. Basically, being delusional for what you're dreaming is the way to go. Ignorance is powerful. And when we lived in ignorance before we decided to know who we are, until we decided to learn our spirit, right? It was ignorant before that. Everything was peaceful. Everything was like, oh, this will be okay. Nothing too bad happens. But what is the reason for a testimony? When you decided to learn yourself, you went out of ignorance, and now you know. That's the opposite of ignorance, knowing. Knowledge is power, though. So these ignorant people that are around you have no power. You have knowledge and you have power, but you're not ignorant. It makes it like a despair. Like it's almost like you're in a state of despair, just living. But the people who are ignorant are blissfully happy, right? So delusion is the power that gets you back up there. You have to be delusional, and that's the full energy. So I always speak about that, but yeah. No, that one. Alright. So let's start off with this. But let me get emanation really quickly. These are these 4 areas right here. 5 areas right here. Basically, you have who, what, when, where, and why of the situation. Basically, ask any question in your mind, or the question that's been bugging you, the things that have been bugging you, and we're going to get down to what can be coming out your mind, and we're going to get a focus on these 5 things. These 5 things about the 5 energies in your body, the mind, body, soul, spirit, and ethereal. So let's get it. First off, the first card within the emanation, basically your fire, is don't let your past hold you back. And this is about what? Who? Sorry. This is about who? Somebody in your past is holding you back. It's completely clear. So, a relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. Your attention to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something just doesn't mean you should. So, because you can love strong and because you know you can make it, doesn't mean necessarily that that person that you're fighting for, fighting with, have left, had to leave, was meant to be the person that you do that thing with. You were meant to know that you are now that person that can go the distance with that kind of thing. So congratulations, you have a power that's very attractive. Just own it and claim it. So it said across many lifetimes. Now picture this. Imagine every time you come down here, imagine you was up in heaven and you came down here to try to achieve this dream 10 times. And every time you came down here, the same opposing energy came. So that comes out in your partners, that comes out in your addictions, that comes out in many different forms in this life, in this world. And they're all against you. Actually, it's not really just against you, it's to teach you how to get to it, because the hardest path is the one that's for you, is the one that's like the most fulfilling, is the most authentic to who you truly are. So that was who. What is a new start is coming? This has to do with mainly possessions and things that you manifest, right? So look, a new start is on its way. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. See, it keeps talking about the dreams. It keeps confirming why this message is so powerful. So forget about the past. What is the past? The past is data and energy. And the reason why that's crazy is because the data and the energy, well, required, it's already there. It's in your mind, and it's gonna sit there until you give it play, until you give it energy, right? Well, let me say it like this. The past is just data that you give action to. You give it space. You give it place in your mind, in your active reality time. You're giving data active time in your life. That's all the past is, data. You went through this, that is a fact. But the fact that it was so much emotions behind those data, that data, when you put it back in, when you think about it again, there's no such thing as time. That data has the same energetic value as it did when it happened. It's always there. You have to get better at like either holding it down, or meaning holding yourself down, holding your spirit up, I should say, or moving on from it. But it's just data. The less you think about it, it's like out of sight, out of mind, that kind of thing. And that's for what? When is your hard work is paying off? So very soon, new moon in Capricorn. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. A very good omen for studying or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. Now, force is the opposite of love. So if somebody's trying to force you into a position, that's not love. If you do not naturally go into that position, vice versa, if that person doesn't naturally come into that position and you have to force them to be in that position, or force something to happen out of time, you can see how that turns out. Now, it says you need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Now, I found this funny. The devil works many different tricks with us, many different tricks. So I thought about this kind of trick that he can play. Don't put your eggs in one basket, all in the same basket. You heard about that before, right? A lot of people have. It's a good thing, you know. Why? What is the importance of that? But your dream is one basket, is it? Or can you split it up into different things? Can you work well-rounded and not have a focus that the devil can oppose you on? So, put it this way. If you focus on that one basket, that one dream, and the only thing that you're focusing on is the dream, yes, it's great focus, and you will get there. You will learn. You will learn harder. Why? because the devil knows where you're going, because you're putting that spotlight in that direction. And it's light, it's the opposite of it. So he's gonna put everything in that way. Oh, I know where you're going now. I know where you're going. But the time it takes to get there will be elongated because he knows where you're going. Working on yourself works everything at the same time. And the only thing that can be everywhere at the same time is God. The devil cannot do that. The devil is not in that position. So you have to understand, working well-rounded, working on yourself fixes everything at the same time. So that's how you can get to your dream with less resistance. Just focus inward. The devil is always attacking you. So if you focus inward, what else is he going to do? It's the same thing's going to happen. There's nothing you can do. You're defending yourself from the inside. You're pushing everything out of you. So it's working opposite. He cannot do anything against that. So that's just a way to work against it. One trick that I thought of. So where is always in the spirit. What do you need to release? The waning moon. Move forward with as little resistance as possible. This is not the time to start new projects. Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Say sorry to someone? Wow. Okay. This is where. Do energetic work, such as meditation or yoga. Soon you will see what lies ahead. Now, say sorry to someone. Now, this is about forgiveness. Who do you need to forgive in order to let that conscious arm go of them? Right? The spirit is magnetic. The spirit doesn't need any strings. I call those things heartstrings. You have heartstrings. That's what that looks like. Your mind has a hand that comes out of it and grabs the person, and that person's not going nowhere. But it's not a magnetic force. It's opposite of it. It's control. So the magnet, the attraction, right? Basically, you don't have, it's hands-free. Whatever's attracted to you will come to you. Whatever you are attracting to you will come to you. It's that simple. But it's a hands-free action. It's a hands open. I accept it. So accepting somebody to be unattracted to you, polarized from you, is also a thing that your spirit is doing. So that's where your spirit wants something out. Your spirit wants something out. Somebody has a spiritual hold on you, a conscious hold on you, and it's time for that to stop. And that was where. This is why. Why is always the most important question, and the question that gets everything going, and the question that keeps the cycle perpetuating, but the question that you need to ask yourself. Why? Once you figure it out, then the devil says, okay, now we gotta fight. Now you know, so all the gloves are off now. Now you know. But that's when it's a powerful moment. So never stray from it. Always dig deeper to find out who you truly are. It just becomes more of a protection for the things that you can't see or don't even know that could happen. So why? You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for somebody else. Now, let's talk about that karma real quick. This is the Matrix. You are in a video game. That's how it operates. Accept it. Once you do, you get to use the Matrix for the buttons. Now you have the controller. You are the controller of your own life, right? Put the controller in your hand. Learn the Matrix. Learn the pieces. Learn how this works. Learn how this functions. Learn how this operates. And when that happens, you claim what's yours truly, and what's yours will never go, because it's like, it's there now, right? So you can raise your karma by doing random things for people. Holding the door is my favorite example. It's the only one that always comes up. Holding the door for somebody for that extended period of time that they wish somebody would have did for them, or they do for other people, and next thing you know, you got a chance to repay them. You were that one little, that little angel that came out and held the door for them. It gave them a better look on that day. Maybe they were looking to eliminate themselves. I forgot, to delete themselves, right? Maybe they were looking to do that day. And you holding the door, that little action of love could have swayed that whole thing. So spread the love as much as you can. Love is infinite. You can always give love. Love is always available for you to give. Always. Always. It doesn't have to mean money, but it's love. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. So your mind is like a constant wand that's doing a spell. 90% of the spell every day in your mind, 90% of the thoughts that happen in your mind are past thoughts. It's not new thoughts. So you're thinking about everything in the past, everything that you were thinking about before. 90% of your brain. So this is why the attraction is so heavy, because you have that in your mind, and this is why Spirit said it needs to be released. So these things, yeah, learn the matrix, learn the pieces, grab the controller. Alright, so the next part of the reading is creation. First was emanation, now it's creation. Creation has to do with the Etheral, and the Etheral is about perspective. These are the perspectives in your mind that basically overwrite everything, and nothing is missed out. So we're about to get down to it when it comes up to what you're feeling. So it's a spiritual thing. This is what you want to create. If you see something, you want it here. So we're going to talk about it. So the perspective, the first perspective, what crowns the reading, is the Ten of Cups. I mentioned it before, but look. Inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams coming true. Now, when a dream comes true, you have to protect it. But by the time it came true, you were already ready to protect it. And that was the reason for those trials. So thinking that what you're going after you will lose, it will never happen, because God won't give it to you because you are not ready for it. Your blessings are protected, and God will not give it to you until you are ready for it. Why would I waste money? You feel me? Why would I waste mana? Why would I waste that energy? Says, God in that position. No, I'm not giving this to you yet. Says, Spirit says, no, God, he's not ready yet. No, God, she's not ready yet. Even how much you cry for it, be ready for it. Be ready to hold it down. And that's what attracts it. Everything comes from within. You build yourself up, God can give you more because you have more energy. You have more capacity to do things. So it's about the capacity. You have no capacity right now. And what you're asking for, let's do that. The next energy that's up is I want. Now, I want is the Nine of Pentacles. And this is on suit. So let's get it. Fruits of labor, reckless spending, and rewards. Now, the reckless spending on yourself is perfect. I will go broke for my dream. God will not let you go broke. God understands that sacrifice you made. I'm broke is a vast term right now that I'm using. You can go broke exercising. You can go broke to the point where you can't exercise no more. That's going broke. Going broke with money. Putting all your money into this investment, and that's the only investment that you can do, and you waited for this long. You thought you wanted to do something else, but this was more important, and you had to. Like, you had to make a decision. It was either now or never. That's the kind of thought that you had, and you're doing that. And that's what's so powerful right now. Now or never. Look at that fear. The devil put all of that fear in your mind, and you said, okay, and this now or never. I have now. I have right now to do these things. And that's what the devil's afraid of. You making the decision. You having a controller in your hand. Learn the matrix. The matrix is the womb. That's mother energy. The mother wants to nurture you, but you have to learn how to speak to the mother. That's it. You have to learn how to speak to her. The next energy up is what I need, and this is the star. This is air energy, and this is also on suit. So anytime major arcana comes here, arcana card comes here, it's about something coming towards you. So this is that star energy. This is outside of everything. This is the blessing. So the star. Hope, faith, and rejuvenation. I remember there was a card that said something about hope, and I forgot to talk about it. So hope is very important. It's like your rock. At the end of the day, if you can't do anything, you can hope, and that will leave you at like a dormant state, but you're not a zombie. I hope you understand what I mean by that. It will leave you in a dormant state, only hoping, and that's it. There's no evolution, there's no growth. Now, this is what you need. Why? Because it rejuvenates you. If you're hoping that all of these other things can happen, there's the fantasy and then there's the dream. The fantasy is created through fear. The dream is created through truth, right? So your truth are the things that rejuvenate you. And when you cannot access something, when something goes wrong and it's not, you can't, like, it did not work out. Your spirit was pushing it away. You tried to hold it with your mind, conscious, these conscious arms, these heartstrings. No, God, this is what I want to do. And God says, no, this is not the way to go. So these cords keep getting cut and you don't know why. Cords are not just people. Or cords don't attach to just people. The next energy up is I know. I'm getting my mind, and my mind is a little twisted because I changed this up again when I wanted to. Okay, right. Let's get I know. Let's do this. Watch. I got y'all. I got you. This is the Five of Pentacles, and this is offsuit. Recovery, charity, and improvement. You do not need to improve. You are improved. Alright, so I'm going to lie to you right now. You are going to be great. You are going to be awesome. You are awesome. You are exponentially good at what you do. These are affirmations, but I also lied to you at the same time. If you choose to believe it, it empowers you. If you choose not to believe it, it does nothing for you. But that's the power of words. A lie is not always bad. Affirmations are literally lies that you tell yourself until you believe it. Fake it till you make it. Go ahead. Affirm it to yourself. These affirmations are very powerful. Pieces of the matrix. Pieces of something that gives you attraction. That, yeah, I don't need to say much more about that. But that's what you know about the situation. Next up is what you will. I will. These are the things that you do. The actions that you take, right? Well, maybe not the actions that you take. Basically, the energy that you have to get it done. Knight of Wands. And this energy is good. Action, adventure, and fearlessness. Now, in the place of I am is on suit. And that's where fear is. And you have fearlessness. It's a state of always looking the devil in the face and laughing at him. You know how pissed that energy is? Because the devil does not come here in person. The devil comes through other people. The devil comes through other things, attachments, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything that can use you, that's the devil using it against you. So it's many forms. And if all of it, you're not being swayed by any of it, it took you a long time to get here. You have improved to that point. You are improved. You have to know how far you've come. You've come very far. Imagine what you can do with that if you believed it. Next up is the Sun, and this is offsuit, and it was reversed. So let's get it. Negativity, depression, and sadness. I mentioned despair, right? Because, funny enough, this energy and I feel is off because it needs to be water. But when it comes up to your, this is I desire, what you're desiring right now. You desire to be in a state of despair. Maybe it's because you're so used to being in that state of despair, but that's a belief, right? Like something that you programmed into your mind and your subconscious is like, you know, being in despair is better, because I can relate to this. I had this thought before. Let's just not be happy. This is what I was saying to myself before. Let's just not be happy, because anytime I try to be happy, something bad happens and then I end up being unhappy. So if I can fake happiness on the outside and not be happy on the inside, nothing will happen in my life negative. And that did work. But I felt stagnant, and I was anxious, and I didn't grow. I didn't grow. And now we coming to a point where I'm not afraid to look at myself for the things that I've allowed to happen to me, and I'm able to move forward with it because I've accepted it as a trial, as a test, and as a lesson for the dream that I came down here for. So it all ties back to that dream. We always need to understand that these things happen for us. The Matrix knows what you want because you're the mother's son, daughter. She knows what her child wants, and she wants to give it to her. But let me tell you something. The Matrix is a place of information. Information is unconscious. It's an unconscious place, and you have to give it life. So the things that it gives to you are the things that literally move you. That's the force of growth. Like, you will grow no matter what, because spirit will make you at the end of the day. Your consciousness comes after spirit. It's and then there was light. It comes after. So you have to understand the order of power in the first place. That's mother energy that allows us to be in this space in the first place. So you think that your spirit, which is the one that attracts things to you, it is attracting the lessons. I hope this is making sense because I have to let it flow. It's attracting the lessons. You think it's bad for you. You get through it, and it was so good for you, but you don't want to accept that, because that means that you got played. That means that you weren't smart at that time, and that's okay. You learn. God puts you through things that you get through for a reason. There are so many people, God humbles me every time I get upset, every time I get into a state of despair, every time it happens. I see somebody in a worse position than me, and I'm just like, you know what? Now I gotta make the best of my position, because it could be worse. Every time I'm humbled by that. So the next energy up was the Hierophant, and this is offsuit, and it was reversed. So let's get it. This is rebellion, subversiveness, and new approach. This should be air energy, and air is polar to to earth. So what does that mean? You cannot think past your manifestations. You cannot think past things. You need things in order to get past. You need things in order to evolve. Your temple is the first tool and the only tool that God gave you. It's the only tool that you truly need. So things come second. Things are created from you. It comes out of you. When you learn the hierarchy of your own power. What comes first? I just let you know, it's your soul, then your body, right? Your soul comes first, and then it's your body. And that was in the heart chakra. That was I love, naturally. You don't have love for self, which is bad. You have love for things. Tune or focus your love on the beautiful things about you, and more beautiful things that are for you would basically confirm it for you, so you can believe it more. And then that strength, you understand where this is going. The next energy up is I do or I act. This is basically the pressure to think, the pressure not to think, the pressure to do, or the pressure not to do, because there's no fire here. Well, this card is fire, but in the solar plexus is Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, and Libra. It's no fire, but it gets heat. It gets that piezoelectric energy. I'm a nerd at the end of the day. I understood it. It's pressure, so it's piezoelectric, right? But this is the Page of Wands, which is on suit, but it's reversed. Lack of direction procrastination and creating conflict. This is creating conflict. It's not running into conflict. It's creating it. You're casting what could go wrong because you know, and you're not ignorant, right? Remember that. You're not ignorant. You know. So since you know it, that's the bane of knowledge. You know it. You know all the faults. So the devil already has like, oh, I can do this to you. I can do this to you. I can do this to you. Because you know. You're not ignorant. It's so frustrating. This is why you have to live after you know in a state of delusion that you're protected from it. It's literally to our logical mind delusional. I would be delusional to think that these things can't happen. Delusion is the second form of ignorance that we must have as light beings. Must. Absolute must. Once you achieve it, yeah. After my last reading, after I claimed my delusion, the whole board switched up to a place where I can actually make it myself. And that was something that I struggled with for a long time. How can I make this myself? I thought I needed a whole team. And now I know how to make it. I stopped trying to go after the dream because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe I could do it. Man, you should see it now. Watch when it comes out. By the end of this year, I will have my prototype, my first readings on it, and it's mental alchemy with tarot. So imagine all the other readings that you love on it. Man, I'm here to eliminate the devil's presence. Let's just say that. I realize what I've been through, and if what I'm hearing from all other light beings saying that I have a lesson that I can teach people for them never to go through what I've been through. I'ma keep talking until y'all get it. Y'all gonna get it. And y'all gonna get it from everybody who knows and everybody who been through stuff. This is the reason why we're here. All of these people who are on the stage to talk about these things have been through these things. And this is why we know about it. And even if we didn't go through the things, we know knowledge is power. We learn from other people. This is why God sends you masters. Masters come in many forms too. You can have a master as a child. Some child comes to you and says something to you, and then you get it. Like me, the 1,000th time hearing your dreams are attracted to you. I heard it in a reading today, and I finally got it. It's that easy. When it clicks, it clicks, and it's just time to. You know enough for it to click. You just needed to hear it again. Different perspectives. The next energy that I was on suit. The next energy is the Ten of Swords, and this is off suit. This is in a place of I feel. Failure, collapse, and defeat. Now, why do you feel defeated? Because you do not believe you have grown. You have grown, so therefore you are not defeated. You are actually right in a place with all of the keys necessary to make the next step, the transition. That's the actual technical place you're in. And if you feel like you're stagnant or you can't move, the only lane that's available to you, because you know the devil's tricky and all that other stuff, you can't do anything else but the dream lane, the dream event. You can't do anything else but that right now. And that's frustrating because you have a whole consciousness. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm going to go after this, I'm going to go after this. And it never works. But for the thing that you are ordained to work, for it to work for you. So yeah, that's what that's about. Those are the feelings. It's not in vain. It was for experience. Now that you have the experience, watch when you fully understand is revealed to you. Watch. The next energy was I am. I mentioned this before. It was on suit, and it's the Six of Pentacles. Charity, generosity, and sharing. Now, because you are fearless, it doesn't matter what you don't have, because you know it'll be given back to you. You know it's an investment at this time because you understand the matrix. God, I sacrificed for something. I know I shouldn't be doing this right now, or I know, like, in my current position, in my current dream effort, this will actually set me back. So what will you do about that? Let's just say that that's the question. What will happen is compound interest. That's the eighth wonder of this world, physical world. Compound interest. When you give to the matrix in good intention, even in bad intention, whatever you do, it compounds back to you. So there's a scale that you're going up on. You actually been going up so far. It's like, who's the fairest of them all? you have learned to be so fair with yourself. This is yourself, your identity, your spirit is yourself, your selfness is your spirit. So being fair to yourself is being fair to the other side of you that animates you, right? Well, not animates, it gets you. We are animated, but we wouldn't feel anything without our spirit. These emotions, excitement, even drama, won't feel any of it without our spirit. So there's an acknowledgement there that you have to have. All right. So the next part of the reading is formation. What is this about? Everything that's offsuit here has to be corrected. And this is more about balance. So we're going to balance the energies from the root back to the crown right now. And then we're going to do the next part, which is manifestation. It's about the mechanical things you could do. The physical, in this physical world. So once I finish this part, we're going to be okay. So the Ace of Pentacles came up in the place of five fields. Not finished yet. Let's keep going. King of Wands. Alright, so the Eight of Cups came out, and let's see what else. Alright, so I'm gonna put this down first. This is offsuit. This is a Four of Swords, and then the Eight of Cups came up. So we're gonna get this real quick right now. Let's just do this right now. Alright, it started off with the Ten of Swords. I told you what that meant. It went to the Ace of Pentacles. Basically, any card that I put down, it represents the time and the energy required to fix the situation. So we're about to figure this out within like a general sense. Coincidence is the hand of God, and I believe in that. So when God says it's done, it's done. And if something is not offsuit, you have grown to that point. Ace of Pentacles. Opportunity, prosperity, and new venture. This is still offsuit. Well, this is offsuit, but it's supported by your fearlessness. You are going towards the opportunity, so it feels like, okay, instead of being stagnant, you have something to use. Even though it's not of a liquid form, even though it's not energy, it's a manifestation that's for you. So you believe in manifestations, you believe in things. So God has finally given you a thing to feel good about. Next up is the King of Wands. Big picture leader in overcoming challenges. Now this is offsuit in a polar sense, right? Big picture leader. Okay, this is about your ego. This is, okay, you have a consciousness. Think of it as a balloon with a balloon inside. The first balloon on top is your consciousness. And if your ego comes into play, the second balloon is filled with air too. So it takes over the power of your mind. So when that happens, your ego can do whatever it wants. You are a soul. You can do whatever you want. Your feelings is going to say, I got this thing and I'm going to do this with it. Because I finally got it and I could go after this dream. God told me I could do this with this. And then you're going to learn again. The only route that you can take with this next thing is the one ordained for you. And it's frustrating, so you have to learn how to sit down with it. Then you really gonna sit down with it with the Four of Swords. This is rest, restoration, and contemplation. Thinking about things. Instead of being so much in your ego and your mind with it, you're going to say, what is the space I need to get this done? What do I have to clear out to get this done? Space is in the heart. So when you clear your space, that's what that means. When you hear from other people, space is within the heart. When you clear that space, you have a void, right? Da'at, what you know, can come towards you. What God knows that will help you can't come towards you because there's an empty, a vacant lot. God says, I feel like this can come in his life right now. I feel like this can come in her life right now. Yeah. It's a nice spot over here. I looked at it. It's cool now. This is for me. God is going to bless you when you clear out those spaces. And then it went from there to the Eight of Cups. Walking away, disillusionment, and leaving behind. Clearing out, leaving behind. But it's an emotional process of losing. You know, I've been having this theory. These stars all go through these rituals, and it's always about shame, despair and things like that. But after it, there's a result. There's something that comes out of it. So that's the unnatural way of finding abundance. And this is what I gotta sign so much to get. It's like they're skipping time to get everything that was, like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it has to do with time. They know how to skip it. They know how to give you exactly what you need, but it comes with a cost. Don't sign that. That contract comes in different forms too. It's not only in the stardom, in the limelight. It's not only there. That's the devil likes to trick you. All right. So the next energy that was off was I love. This is in your space, your heart space. It went from the Hierophant to Judgment, which is water. That's still offsuit. Okay, a lot just came up, but I'm gonna take them. The first card that came up was the 8 again, 8 and 8. That's infinity, infinity. So that's like endless right there. And then, and then it went from there to the Lovers. You know, this is air energy, which clears it. And then it ended off with the 6 of Swords. So let's get this really quickly. This is what you love. What you love fills your space. Those conscious hands, those conscious strings that you attach things to, all of those things come to that space of love. It's like your energy to hold it. I'm going to keep giving examples to get you to understand what I know as the heart space. It's going to come many forms. So I went from there to the Judgment, from Hierophant to the Judgment. And this is reversed. Lack of self-awareness, self-doubt, and self-hate. I just told you about what the self is. That's your spirit. You hate your spirit for making you feel this way. The body is the apparatus that you physically, like you consciously see in the middle of your spirit, or in the middle of you and your spirit is your body, I should say. Now, when you feel, and it's very painful, your conscious mind can register that. And it doesn't understand why the spirit made you do that. That happened. The spirit and the mind are on two opposite sides. They do not know what's going on with the other one. The only way that they can know is basically with Morse code in the body. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make you feel this way. And I think as the mind, it meant to do this. That's how they cooperate with your body. So, yeah. Don't hate yourself. Your spirit is only here to show you the way, as much as your mind is there to build the path for you. So move. I don't know how that happened, but okay. It went from there to the 8 of Wands. This is rapid action, movement, and quick decisions. Now, when you believe in yourself, fire and air support each other. So this is the supporting role. It's still not on suit, but it's still supporting. When you believe yourself, things move faster for you. And what is movement? Movement is love. Love is movement. And what brings the most movement is balance. So imagine you're on an uneven platform and you're trying to move around freely. You can't. You gotta do other things. But when the platform that you're moving on is balanced, you can do cartwheels, this and that. That's what happens. Movement is better with balance. So the more balanced you are in all the aspects of your life, the more love can flow into it. So it went from there to the Lovers. Partnerships, union, and duality. Duality is very important. Why? Because duality is basically talking about the union between mind and spirit. Very important, because that's the x-axis, the X paradigm. When they find balance in the union, you will have the ability to go on the Y paradigm, which is of the body and the soul connection. Your mind and your spirit understand your body through that language. It's a language that happens. You guys understand each other, and now that you understand each other, you have balance to understand your soul. It's a process. You have to understand your spirit first before you understand your soul. So it went from there to the Six of Swords. This is transition, leaving behind and moving on. A lot of moving on energy. What do you need to release? You are good enough. Like, you are the star. You are very important in God's eyes. You are very important. So what do you think? How does that relate? You go through all of these things and you end up still okay. Still able to project for the future. A good thing. That means that you're okay right now. You got through it. You might have a little scar, but scars, some scars don't heal. Some scars require a lot more time to understand why it even happened. Scars are as above, so below. So just take it how it resonates. But it's about that, I wanted to say butterfly effect. And I know it was about changing time zones, changing like time dimensions and things like that. So anytime a decision is made, you are living in a new time zone. You are living in a new timeline. Every time a decision is made. So you change timelines, and then certain timelines align. I hope that made sense. But I don't know why I was needed to say that in the first place. But, you know, I'm not God, so let's move on. The next energy that was off is I desire. And let's see what happened. And went from the Sun to another fire card, which is, oh snap. So, wow, okay. It went from the Sun to the Four of Wands, to the Tower, and then to the Star again. So the Star and the Star, I mentioned it, you are the Star, and the Star came back out on the second day. So yeah, this is crazy. And the Star finished it out. So it's a mental energy about you knowing that you are important enough to fight for, right? So all of that despair that was in the Sun, and went from there to the Four of Wands is still off suit. So this is community, home, and celebration. Now, home is not what you desire. That's what you're building. You have it already. You don't desire that. You desire what you have already. Is the way that your mind is going. It's like you don't have it. It's something that you have that you swear you're looking for. I know that it's circled, but that's the discrepancy. You have it already, so why are you still looking for it? That's what's not making sense right now. The next up is the Tower. Let me explain the Tower really quickly. At the top of any tower, well, it's called the steeple in a church, in a castle, and things like that. The castle keep, the highest point, that's the tower, right? That means it's as high as you can go is the farther you can see. You know, if you had a telescope or something like that. The further you can look, the more time you have before an attack actually hits you. So understand that. Also, you can see rivers, you can see mines, you can see forests, you can see animals, you can see this and that, and that's for your inner kingdom, your temple and things like that. So you can understand, you can see what you can claim, and you can see way ahead before an attack comes. But a tower moment is after you claim everything in that place. There's nothing for you to do anymore. So the next step is to grow taller. Everything that you claimed, everything that you gotten past, because you are better, you have more material to use for the newer tower, and that tower is going to get taller, higher, see from a higher perspective, and protect you even more. So tower moments are very necessary, because if you want to grow, it has to come down first. And this is everything that all your habits and patterns and things like that. This is your desires. It's all going to the garbage. The garbage is a very, down the drain. Like I said before, the things that you are doing are almost like rejected from God. It's like a divine rejection, and it's frustrating. Very frustrating. But it went from there to the Star. Now let me get it again. That's hope, faith, and rejuvenation. So you want to rejuvenate the connection between your spirit and your mind. So that's very good. The next energy that's off suit is I know. And this is the last one that's off suit. So let's get it. Alright. The Nine of Swords. And that completed it. So we don't... The Nine of Swords. Watch this. And this is reversed. Hope. You know you need hope. You know you need to hope. But that's not the only thing you need. You know this now. Reaching out and despair. Reaching out to who? Spirit. The one that's been there with you the whole time. The one that's been logging all of this information in. Imagine you have an eye that never blinks, that always sees everything as far as your aura can touch it. Everything that ever happened, in your spirit knows it. Everything that ever happened to you, everything you ever did to somebody else. Your spirit knows it. But you can reach out to it because it knows the best thing that you can do. And the way it's going to speak to you is through your body. The hairs that stand up when you walk past that thing. The feelings that you have that make you look to the left or the right. Like, what was that? Why did I look over there? Sometimes I don't feel people looking at me, but I would look in a direction and somebody would be looking at me right in my face. Like, why are you looking at me so hard? What did I do? Did I offend you or something? Like, what is it? Is there something on me? I get anxious. Like, what is it? Why are you staring at me like that? No, my spirit just wanted to let me know that somebody's focus is on you. That's conscious energy. And we can feel that. You ever know, like, in these animes that you watch, these shows, people be in the forest and this, they just stop. I can feel a presence. That's the presence. But yeah. And it mentioned collapse, but I already talked about the tower. So this is something that you knew that needed to happen. This is something that you now know needs to happen. But since you know it needs to happen, you won't feel the same energetic failure from it. It will be like a process that's accepted. Yeah. Acceptance is key. Because the devil can't trick you. It's like, okay, this is gonna happen. It's like, I didn't get the right reaction. Tricky. But now that that's complete, the next part of the reading is manifestation. So what is that all about? This is mechanical. Everything that we looked over, everything that we talked about, the energy is from the crown now down to the root. And I know if you've been listening to me, you understand that there's something that you feel like you can do. You feel like you can. I can is in your mind right now. But let's talk about, I can is in your mind. So these are the ifs. If I do this, let me explain it this way. If I experiment, if I express, if I integrate, if I transcend, then I will ascend. And ascension is just evolving, right? Transcending is leveling up, like Pokemon. Level up to level 16, it goes to the next Pokemon, the next evolution, right? Integration. These are the things, your habits and your patterns. These are the feelings, but how you express them. Feelings are derived from spiritual energy that turns into feelings. You have to, like, that's the way it works. Your spiritual energy turns into feelings. It's not the same thing. It's a little bit different. So, in your experimentation, you can understand that with the things that are manifested around you, you can use in a certain way to create like a form. Like this plus this equals this, and I can do this for a certain amount of time, and it will help me out. That's a manifestation also. You manifested that. You thought of it. It's a plan. A plan is also a manifestation. So, home. If you experiment with the energies of being in a home. Trust. If you express trust in your spirit. I've been talking about the spirit the whole time. Okay. Good fortune, and I wanted to get this one out. Divinity. Divine trust. Good fortune in the home. Good fortune with what you're doing, your habits and your patterns. Divinity when it comes to transcending, leveling up. The right things to do, the right things to train. So it's like you've been working out by yourself the whole time, but having an outside perspective from an actual trainer who's been doing this countless times more than you and studied it will have you doing something that you never did before. That's the divinity of it, and that's in your space. So yeah, moving on. I'm gonna put this face down. So it's like a little surprise. All right. The first energy is home. If I experiment with the energy of home, you are being guided to come back home to who you truly are. Drawing this card can signal a change in your physical home or sense of where you belong. Pulling this card also symbolizes that whatever or wherever your current situation, you can trust that this moment is in alignment with your higher self. Everything always happens for you. To you is the devil lying to you with thinking that he has the power to do that to you. It's all a trick. Sometimes God does something and the devil piggybacks over it. Backseat drivers, no, I did this. I did this to you. Yeah, I caused the pain. I did this. But a God allowed it. So there's almost like why did you allow that, God? And you look at God like, you allowed the devil to do that to me? No, it was a divine order. And the devil just said he did it. What did you gain? What did you learn? You're welcome. So, yeah. You have not lost your way. You are in fact right on time and on track. Meditate with the symbol to access the higher power, your higher power when you're having to making more important decisions. The morning star, you can always orient yourself north to the morning star and be assured that you will make the decision that is in alignment with your highest good. Yeah. Look up morning star. The morning star is the brightest star in the dawn's horizon. It's considered an important spirit and honored. The morning star, the sun. Yeah, that's a whole flip in itself. So, disclaimer, right? The next energy is if I experiment with trusting. Well, if I express trusting. Step into the unknown. All may not be revealed at this time. Trust in unseen forces. Meditate on this to let go of all attachments or possibilities. Free yourself from your dharma and increase your trust in your guides in the universe. Now, what is planning? What is having a plan and going through with it if you're supposed to trust your spirit? Now, understand that fight right there. But I thought I was supposed to do this. No, do this right now. Spirit puts little, not hiccups, but little turns in your route. Hey, stop here at this gas station and stock up on this, and then continue on your journey. But you needed that. But it wasn't a part of your plan. You didn't know that you ran out of gas. Go here before you ran out of gas. That's your spirit. It's trust, because you wanted to get there. Your spirit knows everything that's happening around you and can say, do this, do this, do this, do this, because I know. I see it. It's that gut feeling. Yeah. The next up is good fortune in integration. Now, fortunate energy. This is the number 13, Christ consciousness. Also, in tarot, this is why this is so interesting to me. The number 13 is the death card. So death brings good fortune. Death to what? The beliefs that you have of something, your knowledge. Death to the part that pulls you down with that knowledge. Death to even the fact that you know something bad can happen. Death to that. Only the good can happen. That's a certain death too. You're no longer thinking about this, and that energy that was in your mind, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, but your spirit knows what would happen, and your mind has to make a decision to trust it so it can release that energy. That energy, too much of it in there is ego. You have power over that. So yeah, good fortune. No matter what your query, the universe gives you its blessing. This is also a powerful time for manifesting, so ask now for what you want more of in your life. It is granted. Acknowledge the blessings in your life and more will appear. Acknowledging the blessings, more will appear. Acknowledging the worries, more will appear. If you're gonna pray, well, what's that saying? If you're gonna pray, don't worry. If you're gonna worry, don't pray. Because those are two opposing powers. Prayer is peaceful. After you pray, it's gonna happen. I believe in God, whatever. It's not gonna happen no more. I prayed. That's the affirmational power of prayer. You believe that. Therefore, it's a shield around you. I believe this for a certain amount of time. I need to go back to that practice to reconfirm to myself my belief, aka hardening that shield or giving more energy to that shield. It was about to be at 0. I need to go back. Whatever practice that you have to nurture your spirit is the thing, because that's what we're doing in the church in the first place. We're not nurturing our mind. We're giving our mind answers, but we are nurturing our spirit with those answers. Yeah. The next card up is Divinity, and this is in Transcendence. You are divine, and this message comes with a warning and a blessing. Drawing this card invites you to proceed with love over fear. No matter what your situation or relation, proceed only from a place of unconditional love. That warning, you are divine. Shaky situations because you are divine. Because you're learning the matrix, it is tailoring to what you know. You are divine. And since you don't believe currently, or you didn't believe before, that those things wouldn't happen to you, you are divine, and it came towards you to teach you that you would be protected from it anyway. It was something that you didn't need, so you needed to go through it. Already know you didn't know that you were protected, but you were. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when you learn that spirit is there. You mean to tell me this whole time I didn't even need to go through that stuff? If I would have known, but now I know, and the stuff that I would go through in the future I wouldn't have to go through. So that's the point. The reality, the present time is the time to know it. Because you know it now, it's beautiful. It doesn't matter that you've been through it before. Those are only lessons to get you to the fact of knowing it. Spirit wants you to see it mentally with your mind. Now that you see it, let's communicate. Let's talk about it. Let's convene. Soulmate. This is how you ascend. This is how you evolve. Your soulmate with your spirit. Your spirit is your first and most true soulmate you will ever have in your life. No person will be better soulmated with you than your spirit. Understand that. Nothing. If somebody can talk to you like your spirit talks to you, that's the person for you. And your spirit doesn't hold back any punches too. So you can take that how it resonates. It's not always meant to be, oh, this is going to be a good thing. No, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and you're doing this. And your spirit be like, you hear him, you hear her. I've been trying to say that to you the whole time. Now that you hear it in your mind, well, you're going to deny it. And this is what triggers us. We hear it from other people, and our spirit told them to tell us that. That's another frustrating thing. You needed to hear this information, and somebody around you told you. It could be random people. Somebody like step on your foot, needed to teach you patience, needed to teach you forgiveness. That person definitely fell into my foot. I could have chose to make it an argument and a fight, or just let it pass. And you could look on that person's face and be like, thank God he didn't let it go to an argument. You can see it. You can see it. All of it. He knows patience and he knows forgiveness. I fuck with this person, right? It's that easy. Little things. It's the little things that let us know as conscious beings that you're of the light. The little things. Spread your light as much as you can, because it will push the dark away as well as attract more light. You are a lighthouse. It's the resonancy. It's the attraction of it. Soulmate. A significant partnership, soul connection, and a meeting of kindred spirits. Drawing this card means you have met a soul connected relationship. While this can indicate a romantic connection, it also signifies a relationship meant to work together on a soul level. Right. This partnership is special. Learn from each other. Be good to each other. And be in gratitude for the connection. What the actual language that your spirit and your mind has, which is like your spirit and your mind talking at the same time in unison, is your soul talking, right? But those are two separate senses. The middle sense, the divine sense, is common sense. And this is why it's not so common. Divine knowledge is common sense. Even our perceived adversaries are profound, soul-mated connections. You can always draw another card for clarity around the purpose of your connection. Now, what happens if the devil brought to you a person that was so beautiful on the outside? You said, this is it, right? But they were jam-packed with a million lessons for you to learn. And that was their only reason for being in your existence. Now, how frustrating is that? You mean to tell me that I decided to go all in on this person and it was only a lesson? Did God betray me? These are the things that I thought. So I know I'm not alone with this. Did God betray me, or did God help me, teach me, show me the way? Which one was it? With your conscious mind and your ego, it literally, logically looks that this person up there allowed this to happen. And it was for you, but that's what your mind doesn't know. Alright. So, that was the end of the reading. And I appreciate you if you made it this far. There's so much that I want to do with the Zin-Finity Board. And I would love if I would have your help getting there. This is going to be an app for the whole spiritual community. It doesn't matter what practice you do. You can practice it here. It doesn't even matter what practice you don't know. You can learn your own practice here, create it, and have a community with it in here. It's going to be the hub spot for all things spiritual. The spirit is this time to be seen. And I see it with my mind, literally. And I don't know why God made me the head person in charge of this, but I'm not scared of it. I'm not. I'm almost upset that y'all can't. I'm almost upset that a million people don't see this now. And certain people do see it. And I love y'all to death. Because I'm not alone in this anymore. The first people that told me, oh, this is great, this is good, so much confirmation is in there. So if you can tell me that, I appreciate you too. Because, you know, a little bit goes a long way. There are so many things that happen in my mind. And you can bless me with saying something that will overwrite that 90% that's in my mind that's constantly pushing me back or constantly keeping me in the same position. You can help me. And, you know, any questions that you have, if you want, if you're looking for a reading, my email is there in the description. If you are interested in an infographic with this material, it's on my Etsy. And also the Tree of Life. I created my own Tree of Life. Well, it's the same Tree of Life, but it just matches the infographic so you can understand how the information is there. With all that said and done, love you to death. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are. I'm KyFy. Peace.